Hello, this is Jared from Commit Quality, and in this video we're going to learn about tagging. So when running tests, I would suggest that you tag them up, whether it's by functionality or by a type of test, for example, smoke, sanity, regression, whatever you'd like. And then what you can do is using the grep command or the grep option via command line, or by storing it directly in your Playwright config file, you'll be able to choose what tests you want to run for specific environments or locally. We're going to show you both ways as well, how to do it via command line or how to do it via your Playwright config. This basically means you're only going to run the tests matching what your regular expression you provide is going to be. So let's jump into this and get started to give some examples. So I've got two test files at the moment. I've got one with two tests in it, and then I have one with a single test. So for this one, I'm going to tag it up to be tag1. I'm going to have a tag on this test to say tag2, and obviously you could name these whatever you want. So this could be like regression, this could be smoke, and then you could have a sanity one. So for test 3, I'm going to say tag3, but also let's put that capitalized. We're going to say this test is also going to be multiple tags. We'll have tag 1 as well. So when we run tests grouped as tag 1, we'd expect this to run and this one to run as well. So before we actually do anything, let's just make sure that I have 3 tests being executed. So I say npx playwright test in my terminal. And you can see here 3 tests using 2 workers. Great, so we're in a good position. Okay. So they all passed. Now let's go into how we can run specific tests. So we're going to say npx playwright test, and then we're going to pass through the grep option, and I'm going to say I only want to run the tests marked with tag1. So if I'm going to say tag1 and hit enter, what we should see is only 2 tests are executed, which would be this one because it has tag1 inside the name declaration, and it would be this one because it has tag1 in this declaration. And then we can see 2 tests using 2 workers and exactly what we just stated. Do the same, I could say maybe I only want to run the test with tag 3. Hit enter, and now we should only see 1 test is being executed. Great, 1 test, and that's the test that was marked up here with basic test 3 at tag 3 and at tag 1. So now then, what if we said, okay, I have multiple tags I want to run together. Maybe I want to run a group of functionality for one thing and then a group of functionality for another thing. We could do this easy by adding the OR operator, and we could say at, let's say, and tag 1. So tag anything with tag 3 and tag 1 should be executed. Brilliant. So you got the 2 tests using 2 workers again, and that's because we've said we should run tag 3 and anything with tag 1. So that's basically how you can do it via the command line. But now what I want to do is show you how we can do it via configuration, the Playwright config using projects. And this is probably going to be the likely approach you're going to take when you're tagging things up. So let's go into our Playwright config. And at the moment, we only have 1 project set up. So let's duplicate this and change it a few times. So we'll have 3 configurations. We'll have one named as Chromium. We'll rename this one to be, should we just say test 2, and then we'll have this one to be test 3. And what we can say inside here is what tags we want to execute as part of the project. So I'm going to say here grep, and we're going to say actually we'll make this a regular expression, and we'll say at tag 1 or at tag 2, just an example. So I think that would run everything because we have tag 1 marked here and we have tag 1 there and then tag 2. So yeah, that will run all 3 tests. Add a comment to finish that, and we can do the same for down below now. So we'll say for the project marked as test 2, we'll only run tag 1, and in project 3 or test 3, we'll say only run things marked as tag 2. So what we can say now then is playwright test, and we'll say project equals, and we'll do it backwards. We'll say test 3 first. So this one should only run the tests that have the tag of tag 2. Great, so running 1 test, and there we are. You can see that this is the one that's executed. We can do the same and we'll say test2, which will only run the test marked as tag1, so that should be 2 tests. There we are, 2 tests, and both of these are marked with tag1. And then we'll run the Chromium one, which should run all of the tests because we've tagged them all either with tag1 or with tag2. So this one is Chromium. We'll just grab in the project name from here, so you can name these whatever you want. Awesome. So you've got the 3 tests using 2 workers, and let's just double check. There we are. We have basic test with tag1, basic test 3, which has tag 3 and 1, and then you've got the last one with only tag 2. I should mention you could also use grep invert as well. So we could say grep invert, and what this will do, it'll run everything that doesn't have tag 1. So in this case, we're basically saying only run the tests that have tag 2. If I had multiple, even more tests, then it would say run everything as long as it doesn't have the tag 1. So we can try that out as well quickly by saying, okay, we're on test 2. And this should now run only at tag 2 test, because all of our other tests in our test pack are marked with tag 1. So this has tag 1, and this one does, but this one didn't. So that's just an example how you can kind of invert it and use the opposite. Typically, you're going to be using just the grep, but you might have occasions where it's easier for you to invert it and say, run everything other than this specific group of tests. As always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and thank you for watching and have a great day.